Good morning. We discussed previously the machlokas between Shulchan Aruch and Ramah, how much sweet, medium, oil, fruit juice, or sugar needs to be in a bread in order to turn the bracha from hamotzi to mezonos. That according to Shulchan Aruch, all that is required is that the taste becomes sweet, but according to the Ramah, there needs to quantitatively be a majority of those ingredients, sugar, oil, and fruit juice, relative to the amount of water put in. Therefore, one practical difference, as we mentioned, is sweet challah. This also is relevant in the conversation about mezonos rolls, because what is a mezonos roll? When we get a roll which looks like any other roll, but says birchaso mezonos, that says that the bracha is mezonos, what that means is, assuming it is a reliable hashgacha, reliable supervision, that means that it is authorized and clear that there is a majority, according to all accounts, of the sweet mediums of juice, oil, and sugar more than there is water, which would, based off what we said, make the bracha into mezonos. And in fact, that is the approach of Rosh Shlomo Zalman Auerbach that said that that would turn it into regular pasaba b'kisnin, and therefore, if one is having a small quantity in and of itself, then that would be a bracha of mezonos and al hamichya, like any other pasaba b'kisnin. However, and therefore, unless one would be koveya suda, one would set and have a meal around the mezonos roll, that would make it in hamotzi. But otherwise, it would in fact be mezonos. However, Rav Eliyashav, Rav Nisim Karelitz, and others argue that since the point of these mezonos rolls have a substitute of fruit juice for water, but they are simply meant to replace any bread, then they, even when eaten in small quantities, would maintain their bracha of mezonos, because the reality is they are a roll and they are meant as a roll, and that is the purpose of these rolls. And therefore, there is a machlokas as to whether mezonos rolls would follow the normal rules of pasaba b'kisnin, or whether because they are made entirely as a substitute, would that turn them into hamotzi. So there are two opinions, whether they are mezonos, pasaba b'kisnin, or they maintain the bracha of hamotzi in all circumstances. Certainly, when one is koveya seuda, when one establishes and has a meal based off of these mezonos rolls, one would need to wash and make hamotzi and bench. Everyone should follow their poskim and their rabbanim as to what the proper approach to eating these mezonos rolls are. Have a great Shabbos.